Welcome back, ScreenRanters. Disney's Frozen franchise has been a massive success. It's brought in so much money for Disney that the narratives of the Frozen world keeps expanding. In the second film, we saw more of the origin of Elsa's powers, yet during proceedings, Elsa's powers were changed. She has jumped up a few power notches. The biggest power upgrade might come in the form of immortality. Today, we're going to explore whether she's now roaming with immortal beings, how her long life is possible, and what that means for the franchise's future. So, let it go, and let's get started.
That was epic.
Before we delve into what makes Elsa immortal and all of our great evidence, let's take a trip down memory lane to the early days of the billion-dollar franchise. In 2013, Frozen was released to the masses. Disney took elements from the classic story, The Snow Queen, and wrapped it in the House of Mouse colors. If you believe the conspiracy theories, it was titled Frozen in order to hinder people searching online for the rumor that Walt Disney has been cryogenically frozen. Give the video a like if you think it's true. Give it a like if you don't think it's true. We'll be able to work out which way you voted. Anyway, the story follows the sisters Elsa and Anna. At an early age, Elsa demonstrates the ability to manipulate and form ice and snow. However, she accidentally injures Anna when they were playing. Instead of shipping Elsa off to Charles Xavier and never seeing her again, her parents, King Agnarr and Queen Iduna, take their kids to magical trolls. There, they wipe Anna's memories of her sister's abilities. As a result, Elsa is ashamed of her powers and hides them from everyone except her parents. Fast forward into the future, Elsa is now the Queen of Arendelle after her parents perish at sea. Soon after she puts on the crown, her powers spiral out of control. She runs away from her kingdom and creates an amazing ice palace. She also sings a song that was replayed by adults and children alike for years. By the end of the film, Elsa is no longer ashamed of her magical abilities, she's able to control them, and her subjects accept their queen for who she is. It's a happy ending. In 2019, Frozen 2 hit the cinemas. In this story, Arendelle is chugging along nicely, except for Olaf that hides his existential crisis under a thin layer of humor and song.
Forgive me, maturity is making me poetic.
Elsa starts to hear a voice. Instead of going to the X-Men, she goes off to find the source of said voice, especially after Arendelle is attacked by invisible forces. Anna, Olaf, Kristoff, and Sven aid her in the journey. They discover the Enchanted Forest. In it, Arendelle soldiers and the Northuldra people have been battling for decades, without aging a day. We then discover that there are 4 spirits that roam the forest and the surrounding area. Bruni, the adorable lizard that is the fire spirit. It's basically Disney's version of the Charmander. Gale, the invisible wind, is the air spirit. Nokk, a water horse that is the water spirit. And the earth giants that are the earth spirit. Elsa then discovers she's the 5th spirit / element. No, not that kind of 5th element.
Think man is broken, huh?
Elsa is said to be the Snow Queen. With that, she's meant to be the bridge between the other 4 elements, as well as to humanity and nature. Elsa is also meant to lead the other spirits. So, she has interactions with them all that ends up with her controlling them. By the end of the film, Elsa abdicates the Arendelle throne to Anna and goes to live in the Enchanted Forest, all so she can look after the forest and Arendelle without having the restraints of being royalty. Like we mentioned, Elsa has a few sweet powers, mostly involving ice. She can generate ice and snow seemingly out of thin air. She can also manipulate the two in various fashions. As such, she can fire icy blasts toward a target. In the first film, Elsa was able to freeze Anna with an ice shard from within Anna's heart. Elsa is also able to create intricate architecture, such as the Ice Palace with little stress and no blueprints. On top of that, she can manipulate the ice structure in the palace to spring out when she's being attacked, like some kind of ice kinetic ability. Elsa can also cause the surrounding area around her to be layered with the slippery substance, like when she turned Arendelle into a harsh winterland. Elsa can also freeze water in mere moments, as seen when she stops the tidal wave from covering Arendelle in the second film. Elsa also has a bit of storm powers to go with her Iceman, more X-Men references. Elsa can manipulate the weather to be colder and cause snow to fall, such as when she created small snow clouds over Olaf to keep him cold. We also see at the end of the first film, she's also able to generate strong winds as her emotions crash into turmoil. Beyond making fancy palaces, she can also use her powers to make clothes and cause some to disappear into oblivion. Either her dress is made from flexible thin ice or she's able to manufacture fabric as well, we're not sure. But it might mean that she's able to play with reality as well as ice. Fun! Elsa can also create sentient permanent life. She uses ice and snow to create Olaf, effectively making her his god. She also made Marshmallow, the abominable ice creature.
Hey! We were just talking about you.
Elsa is also unaffected by the cold. She might have sung a song that included a line about it. Yeah, all in all, Elsa is one of the most overpowered people in Disney, and they have all the Marvel characters. She could wipe the floor with Thanos even if he was wearing the Infinity Gauntlet. So, how can she get even more overpowered? Good question, us. Well, if you read the title of the video, you know where this is going. Elsa is immortal. She will outlive everyone in Arendelle, slowly losing her sanity as her friends and family leave the earthly realm one after another, leaving only Elsa and the chums she creates from her powers to walk the world alone. Yet, those that she creates can't fill the void of loneliness of her departed loved ones. Wow, that got dark, but it might be a bleak possibility for future Elsa. Firstly, in Frozen 2, we have Olaf. At the beginning of the film, he discusses with Anna that he's going to live forever. Olaf chats with her about the state of his never-ending life with philosophical views spattered within. Then we get a song that everyone jumps in on. Anyway, Olaf confirms that he lives forever due to Elsa gifting him with a permafrost ability. It could be foreshadowing for later in the film when we find out that might not actually be true, as when Elsa perishes from the ice, Olaf goes all Spider-Man in Infinity War. Dusty, her magic disappears with her demise. So, without Elsa perishing unnaturally, Olaf would live forever apparently, yet that doesn't make sense. Elsa is a normal human, so it isn't possible that Elsa would always be around. Olaf would know this. Unless Olaf knows something that Elsa and the others don't. He knows that she's far more than just human. She's a walking, talking deity. He also never mentioned the caveat that if Elsa ceased to live, that he would too. Either he didn't know how Elsa's magic works exactly, which is possible, or he knew that her demise would never come to be permanently. So his reaction during his dusting was weird. He was calm and collected as he faded away into a pile of snow. Previously, Olaf also spent a lot of time telling people that water holds memories, which is a big hint that he knows his dusting isn't permanent. He knows that Elsa will be back, and so will he. Next up, we have when she mentioned she was encased in ice during the second film, in Ahtohallan. Effectively, the Grim Reaper came to grab Elsa and move her into pastures new. Yet instead, she was brought back to life not too long after being covered. She was also massively changed from the experience. Elsa had perished and been reborn with a massive upgrade in her power levels. In the first film, the trolls tell Elsa that her power will keep getting stronger over time. It seems like the second film explored this potential, and then some. Immediately after she returns from the dark beyond, she's far more confident with her powers. The massive tidal wave from the dam being broken was frozen by her without even breaking a sweat, showing that she's reached a new form like an anime character. Anna even comments that there's something different about Elsa now. To highlight this further, even Elsa's clothing has changed to white. Often when a character is suddenly seen in white clothes, they've had a power increase for their new chapter in their life. For example, Gandalf in Lord of the Rings, Kyle Rayner when he became the White Lantern in the Green Lantern comics, and Tommy went from being green to the White Power Ranger. Each of these characters grew exponentially more powerful when they switched to wearing the color white. Now we can add Elsa and her white gown to the mix. Not only did her power level increase, so did her life expectancy. Now, her new position of being the fifth spirit/element pretty much makes her a forest deity. The other spirits seem to be immortal and incredibly powerful, yet Elsa was able to defeat each spirit into submission. Even with the forest in lockdown at the start, the spirits were able to cause havoc within Arendelle, so much so that the townsfolk had to leave for a time. With Elsa in charge of the spirits, she must be immortal too. After all, the most powerful is usually the one in command. Feel free to use your own political joke to the contrary here. The Enchanted Forest is off the charts with its magic potential. It was able to put the whole area in a time lock. No one aged for decades that was trapped inside. The forest also created a mist surrounding it that kept everyone from leaving or entering it. That's pretty powerful magic. Since Elsa chooses to live in the forest at the end of the film, it might play a part in her immortality. The forest clearly has the potential to gift/curse Elsa with forever life. The mystical area may keep her immortal for all time, as long as she's within the forest's reach. Perhaps if she strays too far, the forest's immortal effect won't be able to reach her. But more likely, Elsa is an extension of the forest's abilities. Wherever she goes, immortality follows. And that's a wrap. What do you think about our immortality theory? Did you prefer the first or the second film? Plop your thoughts down below. Our team will hold back their tears as they read through the comments. If you thought the video was alright, then give us a like and share it on social media. It really helps us out during these strange times. If you haven't already, subscribe and click that little bell. That way you'll be notified whenever we post up new content. Finally, thanks for joining us today. We'll see you next time.